Good morning. This is Nalindra. Our subject is Ppsc for first civil. In this, our topic is storing integers. Okay, na? Our topic is today's topic is storing integers. Before that, what is our topic? Yes, units of computer memory measurements. Okay, na? Here there are some computer memory capacities are there. Okay, na? First one, bit. What is the meaning of bit here? Simply, here one bit is nothing but 0 or 1. Okay, na? So 0 or 1, nothing but 1 bit. Okay, na? So 8 bits are called as 1 byte. 8 bits are called as 1 byte. 1024, nothing but 1024 bytes are called as 1 kilobyte. 1024 kilobytes are called as 1 megabyte. Okay, na? So 1024 megabytes are called as 1 GB. GB stands for gigabytes. Okay, na? Gigabytes. 1024 GBs are called as 1 TB, 1 terabyte. 1024, nothing but 1024 terabytes are called as 1 gigabyte, PB. These all are called as computer memory units. Like, for example, if we want to calculate distance kilometers, if we want to calculate liquids, that is a liters, same as computer consists of its own units, its own memory units. Okay, na? These all are bit, byte, kilobytes, megabytes, gigabytes, terabytes, picobytes. Okay, na? These all are discussed yesterday. Now, coming to our topic, that is storing integers. Okay, now storing integers. What is the meaning of integer? Here, integer is a number. Integer is a number that may be positive, negative, or zero. Okay, now, but cannot be fraction. Okay, now. So simply in the computer, numbers are stored. Numbers are stored. Which type of number? It may be a positive number, maybe a negative number, or it may be a zero, but not a fraction. These number is called as number. These numbers are called as integer. For example, 0, for example, 10, for example, 44,000, 1 lakh. These numbers are all called as integers. Okay, na? Why these integers? Okay, na? Here, the integers are used to perform arithmetical operations. Okay, na? Integers are used to perform arithmetic operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, percentage. These all operations we can perform with the help of these integers. Okay, na? Example, the general numbers are general. Okay, na? Here the general numbers are called as integers like 0, 1, 2, 5, 8. These all are positive numbers. For example, minus 9, minus 12. Okay, na? Minus 1000. These all are negative numbers. So these all are called as integers. Okay, na? So simply here integers are nothing but it may be a positive number, it may be a negative number, or it may be a zero, but not a fraction. What is the meaning of fraction here? Fraction is nothing but point. For example, 2.5, 4.5, either 100.5. Okay, na? These all are fraction numbers. Those numbers are not integers. Okay, now those numbers are not integers. So simply integer numbers are without fraction. Without fraction. Simple number is called as integer. Okay, that may be a positive, that may be a negative, or that may be a zero. Okay, these type of numbers are called as integers. Simply, integers are stored using code of memory. Simply, in the computer memory, integers are stored using 4 bytes or 32 bytes. Okay, na? 4 bytes or 32 bytes కాదండి 32 bits. Okay, na? Integers are integers are used to store code of memory, which is 4 bytes or 32 bits only. So integers from 0 to this much of number. Okay, na? So what is this? 400 to 90 crores, 4 lakhs, 90, 96 7 to 95 this much of number అంటే మీరు ఇంటీజర్స్ ని ఓకేనా ఇంటీజర్స్ కెపాసిటీ అంతా జీరో నుంచి ఇంటీజర్ ని మీరు జీరో నుంచి ఇదిగో ఈ నెంబర్ అంత వరకు మీరు స్టోర్ చేయవచ్చు ఓకేనా ఇంటీజర్ రేంజ్ అన్నమాట in our computer here integer numbers are from 0 to 0 నుంచి ఇంత పెద్ద నెంబర్ వరకు మీరు స్టోర్ చేసుకోవచ్చు ఓకేనా సో దిస్ ఈస్ ద రేంజ్ ఆఫ్ ఇంటీజర్స్ స్టోర్డ్ ఇన్ అవర్ కంప్యూటర్ దీన్ని సింప్లిఫై చేసి ఏం రాస్తామంటే 2 to the power of 32 2 to the power of 32 minus 1 ఓకేనా సో ఈ పెద్ద నెంబర్ని మీరు ఏమంటారు అంటే 429 4294 467 295 this large number is simply we called as 2 to the power of 32 minus 1 okay 2 to the power of 32 minus 1 ఇంత పెద్ద నెంబర్ ని మీరు స్టోర్ చేసుకోవచ్చు అంటే కంప్యూటర్ ఇంటీజర్ ఓకేనా దిస్ ఈజ్ అబౌట్ అవర్ ఇంటీజర్స్ ఓకేనా సింప్లీ I am recalling again integer is a number integer is a number that may be positive or negative or zero, but not a fraction. Fraction is nothing but point numbers. Okay, 1.2, 3.5, 10.5. So those all are fractions. Integers are only simple numbers. Okay, but not fractional. So why these integers? These integers are used to perform some operations in the program. That may be arithmetical operations like additions, subtraction, multiplication, divisions, okay, percentage. These all are some arithmetical operations. We can perform these arithmetic operations with the help of our integers. Example integers are 0, 1, 2, 5, 8. Those all are positive numbers. Minus 9, minus 10, okay, minus 100. These all are negative numbers, etc. Simply, these integers are commonly stored using a word of memory. Okay, now, how much of capacity for these integers? 4 bytes to 4 bytes to 32 bits. Okay, so integer range. The range of integers are 0 to 0 to 4294467295. This large amount of number. So మీరు జీరో నుంచి అంత పెద్ద అమౌంట్ ఆఫ్ అంత పెద్ద నెంబర్ వరకు మీరు స్టోర్ చేసుకోవచ్చు ఒక రేంజ్ అనమాట ఇంటీజర్ రేంజ్ ఓకేనా సో దీస్ లార్జ్ నెంబర్ సింప్లీ వీ కెన్ కాల్ as 2 to the power of 32 minus 1 ఓకేనా సో దిస్ ఈజ్ అబౌట్ ఆఫ్ ఇంటీజర్స్ కమింగ్ టు అవర్ రియల్ నెంబర్స్ coming to our real numbers here real numbers are numbers real numbers are simply numbers. This is the combination of rational and irrational numbers. And so real numbers are nothing but real numbers are nothing but a number which is the combination of rational and irrational numbers in the numbering system. Okay. Generally, all arithmetical operations can perform like integers. Okay. With the help of integers, we can perform all arithmetical operations. Likewise, with the help of these real numbers, we can perform all the arithmetical operations. Okay, na? We can perform all the arithmetical operations. Yes, what is the meaning of real numbers? Here, the real-time example. The real-time example for real numbers are integers, fraction numbers, irrational numbers. What is the meaning of integers? Integers are nothing but it may be a zero, it may be positive, it may be negative. So here there is an example for integers minus 2, 0, 1. These all are integers. Fraction numbers 1 by 2, 2.5. Okay, now these all are fraction numbers. And some irrational numbers are there. Some irrational numbers are there. That is root 3, pi of 22 by 7. These all are irrational numbers. So what is the meaning of a real numbers? Real numbers are nothing but the combination of integers, fraction, and irrational numbers. These all are the combination of these all numbers are called as real numbers. Okay, in the computer system, we can use these type of irrational numbers. Okay, these type of irrational numbers. We can perform all the arithmetical operations on irrational numbers like integers. Okay, there is another type of numbers in our computer system that is a floating numbers. Floating numbers, floating point and okay, floating FLOT, FLOAT, okay, floating number. What is the meaning of floating number? Floating number is a number that is that number is always followed with points. Point means, for example, 2.5, 4.5. These type of numbers are called as fractional. Okay, na? These type of numbers are called as fraction numbers, also called as a float. Okay, na? Also called as float. Why these float numbers? These float numbers are used to perform mathematical operations in the computers. Okay, na? And then these all are different types of numbers. Okay, na? I am recalling again. So today's our topic that is already discussed, that is storing integers as well as storing real numbers. Storing integers and storing real numbers. What is the meaning of integer here? Integer is a simple number. Integer is a simple number which is the positive, negative, or which is a positive or negative or zero, but not fraction. Fraction is nothing but point. 0, 0.2, 3.4, these type. Okay, these type of numbers are not integers. Okay, without without fraction numbers that may be positive, that may be a number, or that may be a zero. These type of numbers are called as integers. Okay, so why these integers? Integers are used to perform some mathematical operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, percentage. These all are okay. Here, the example for integers are all positive numbers 1, 2, 5, 8, something 0, or some negative numbers -9, -12, -15. These all are okay. These all are some examples of integers. Okay, integers are commonly used word of memory. Okay, which is 4 bytes to 32 bits. Okay, how much of range for integer 0 to 42945967295. This large number we can store. This large number simply we can call as 2 to the power of minus 2 to the power of 32 minus 1. Simple గా అంత number ని మనం 2 to the power of 32 minus 1 అంటాము. So that is about our integers. What is the meaning of real numbers? Real numbers are even numbers which is the combination of integers, rational numbers, irrational numbers. Okay, in the numbering system. In general, these real numbers are used to perform all the arithmetical operations like integers. Okay, here, what is the combination of these real numbers? Real numbers are the combination of integers. Those are positive, negative, or zeros. Fractional, nothing but 1 by 2, 2.5, 3.5, these type of point numbers. And also irrational numbers such as root 3, 5 of 22 by 7. These all are irrational numbers. So simply here real numbers are called as real numbers are the collection of integers, rational numbers, and irrational numbers. Okay, na? This is about our real numbers. There is another type of number that is floating and float. Okay, there is another type of number that is a float. What is the meaning of float? Float number also called as fraction. Float number also called as fraction. That is with the point numbers only. If we want to represent point numbers in the computer, we must use float. Okay, we must use float. If we want to use a general number without point number, we must use in the program that is int, okay, integer. So these all are different types of numbers. These all are different types of numbers. Nothing but storing integers and real numbers. This is our topic. Okay. Now coming to our introduction to C language. This is very important. And so now onwards we are entering in C language. Okay. Now onwards we are entering in C language. Okay. From here, this is very ఇంపార్టెంట్ అండి. ఓకేనా? సో ఇక్కడ నుంచి మనం చెప్పేది ప్రతిది కూడా ఇంపార్టెంట్. ఇక్కడ నుంచి మీరు ప్రీవియస్ క్లాసెస్ విన్నా లేకపోయినా ఓకే ప్రాబ్లం లేదండి. ఇక్కడ నుంచి మీరు ప్రతిదీ వినాల్సిందే. వినకపోతే ఇంకా మనకి సి లాంగ్వేజ్ అర్థం కాదు. ఓకేనా? సో ఇంట్రడక్షన్ టు సి లాంగ్వేజ్. ఓకేనా? సో దీస్ ఆల్ ఆర్ బేసిక్స్. అండి. ఓకేనా? సో now our topic is introduction to C language. Okay. Yes. What is the meaning of C language? What is the meaning of C language? C language is a very popular language. C language is a very popular programming language. Simply here, C language is a very popular computer programming language. Okay. This is a high-level language. We have already discussed there are three types of languages are there. First one is machine level languages, next one is middle level languages, next one is high level languages. Correct? So C language is the example of high level languages. That means what What is the meaning of high level language? In high level languages, we are using just English. Okay, na? We are just using English to communicate with the system or to write some programs in computer. Okay, na? In machine level language, we were using some zeros ones, but those zeros ones are not understandable for the humans. Here, what is the meaning of assembly level language? In assembly level language, some codes, okay, na, some codes are some symbols were used. That one also very difficult. But here in our machine level language, the pure English letters, the pure English words, pure English is used. So this is very easy for the humans. So simply here C language is one of the most popular high level language, high level computer language. Okay, na? So Mari, who developed these language? The history of C language. The history of C language starts from 1972. Okay, na? In 1972, in 1972, C language was developed where AT&T Bell Laboratory, that is a software company, that is a software company. In 1972, C language was developed in Bell Laboratory. Simply, we can call Bell Laboratory. Okay, na? AT&T, complete name of Bell Laboratory is AT, AT and T. Okay, na? AT&T Bell Laboratory. That is in USA, America. Okay, na? This is in USA, America. Who developed Dennis Rich? Okay, na? Dennis is M. Rich. He is a scientist. Simply, he is a software engineer. Okay, na? So Dennis M. Rich, Dennis, simply Dennis Rich. Okay, na? Dennis Rich developed C language in 1972 at AT&T Bell Laboratory. This is a very important thing. Okay, it's a very important thing. So C language developed in 1972 at Bell Laboratory, simply called as AT&T Bell Laboratory in USA. Who developed Dennis Rich? Okay, Dennis Rich. In 1983, okay, in 1983, ANSI. Here, ANSI stands for American National Standard Institute. Okay, this is a standard institute like ISO. Okay, in our India, there is a standard organization is there, that is ISO. Kada? ISO మనకి ఎట్లా అయితే బ్రాండెడ్ అక్కడ అమెరికాలో American National Standard Institute, that is simply we can call as ANSI. In 1983, okay, American National Standard Institute established a committee to standardize the definition of C. That means C language was developed in 1972, but in 1983, ANSI supposed C language is a standard language. Okay, C language is a standard language. That's why in 1983 onwards, C language name is changed. Okay, now C language name was changed. That new name was ANSI. Okay, that new name was ANSI. This is a standard language. Okay, ANSI. That is American National Standard Institute C. This is the standard. Okay, so there is also an ISO, International Standard Organization standard, that is very similar to ANSI. Okay, I already told you. So in America, ANSI. In America, the standard organization is ANSI. But in India, the standard organization is International Standard Organization. Not only India, in any country, in any country, there is a one standard organization that is ISO. Okay, ISO. Same ISO is same as ANSI, but ANSI is only in USA. That is the standard. Okay, so ANSI proposed ANSI standardized C language. So C language is renamed as ANSI. Okay, this is the introduction of C language. Okay, I am recalling again. What is the meaning of introduction to C language? So how this language was developed, where this language was developed, who developed this language, okay, what are the different changes in C language, why this is popular. So these all are discussed in our introduction to C language. Okay, now coming to our C language, what is the meaning of C language here? So C language is one of the most popular high level programming language. This is very popular. This syntax, the syntax of C language is similar to all other languages like C++, Java, like okay. So yes, C is a basic standard. C language is the basics for all languages. Okay, C language is a basics for all other programming languages. That's why the C language is very popular. Okay, this was developed in 1972, but still we are using the C language. That is the power of C language. Okay, that is the power of C language. 1972, C language was developed, but we are in 2001 or 2000, 2000. Okay, so 2000th century. Also, this C language was developed. This C language is using. Okay, 2021 కదా ఇప్పుడు 2021 లో కూడా దీన్ని యూజ్ చేస్తున్నాం 1970లో ఎప్పుడో డెవలప్ చేసిన లాంగ్వేజ్ ని మనం 2021 లో కూడా యూజ్ చేస్తున్నాము అంటే ఎందుకు యూజ్ చేస్తున్నాం దిస్ ఈస్ వెరీ పాపులర్ వై బికాస్ ద సింటాక్స్ ద సి లాంగ్వేజ్ సింటాక్స్ is basics for all the other programming languages like C++ or something Java, like any other modern programming language. That's why the C language is very popular. Okay, na? So here the history of C language starts in 1972. Who developed Dennis Rich, where AT&T Bell Laboratory, that is in US. Okay, na? So in 1983, the American National Standard Institute, simply we can call it as ANSI, established a committee to standardize the definition of C. Okay, na? So they recognize the C, they recognize the C. So C renamed as ANSI C. Okay, ANSI C. So there is also international standard organization that is ISO standards that is very similar to ANSI standards. Okay, and this is the introduction to C language. Okay, simply here C language is a pop language. POP. C language is a pop language. What is the meaning of pop here? Procedure oriented programming language. Okay, C language is a pop. POP. Pop language. What is the meaning of pop here? Procedure oriented programming. Procedure oriented programming language. Okay, then this is the introduction of C language. Coming to our basic structure of C language. Okay, without this basic structure, we can't do anything with C. ఓకేనా ఈ బేసిక్ స్ట్రక్చర్ తెలియకుండా ఈ బేసిక్ స్ట్రక్చర్ మీకు తెలియకుండా అసలు మీకు ఈ సబ్జెక్టే అర్థం కాదండి ఓకేనా ఏమైనా డౌట్స్ వస్తే అడగండి మీరు ఇమీడియట్గా ఓకేనా బేసిక్ స్ట్రక్చర్ అంటే సి లాంగ్వేజ్ ఎట్లా రాయాలి ఏమిటి దీస్ ఆల్ బేసిక్స్ we have to discuss in basic structure of C language. Okay, na? If you have any doubts, please ask immediately. Okay, na? మీకు తెలియకుండా ఏం జస్ట్ వినలేదు అనుకోండి అసలు మీకు ఈ సబ్జెక్టే అర్థం కాదు ఇక్కడ నుంచి ఇంకా ఇక్కడ నుంచి మనం ప్రోగ్రామ్స్ లో వెళ్ళబోతున్నాము యాక్చువల్ సి లాంగ్వేజ్ లోకి వెళ్తున్నాము ఓకేనా బేసిక్ స్ట్రక్చర్ స్టార్ట్ చేయొచ్చండి ఎంతమంది జాయిన్ అయ్యారు సో ఓన్లీ 2 మెంబర్స్ జాయిన్ ఓకేనా వాట్ అబౌట్ రిమైనింగ్ only 2 members join. Problem isn't it? Okay. Basic structure of C language. Okay. Yes. The program written in C language follow this basic structure. Okay. So C language program must consist of a structure. The structure is nothing but basic structure. Simply the program written in C language follows this basic structure. Okay. So C program should have one or more sections, but the sequence of sections is to be followed. That means all C programs, all C programs need not consist of these all blocks. So now we are discussing these 6 blocks. Okay, now so all C programs need not consist of these all 6 steps. Okay, now all 6 steps. But if we write these 6 steps, we must follow the sequence. Sequence means order. Okay, అన్ని సి ప్రోగ్రామ్స్ ఇప్పుడు మనం డెవలప్ చేసే మనం చేసే ప్రోగ్రామ్స్ అన్ని కూడా ఈ 6 స్టెప్స్ మనం చేయనవసరం లేదండి ఈ 6 స్టెప్స్ ప్రతిదీ రాయనవసరం లేదు కానీ ఈ 6 స్టెప్స్ మీరు ఏదైనా ప్రోగ్రామ్ లో రాశారు అంటే యూ మస్ట్ ఫాలో ది సీక్వెన్స్ ఈజ్ నథింగ్ బట్ ఆర్డర్ sequence is nothing but order. Okay, na? Then, so C program should have one or more sections, but the sequence of sections is to be followed. C programs need not to consist of these all 6 steps. Okay, na? Then we must use one or more sections. Depends upon the program. Depends upon the program. Okay, na? Then depends upon the program. We must use one or more sections. If we use all sections, we must follow sequence of sections as follows. Okay, so here there are our basic structure of C language consists of six sequence of steps. Okay, six sequence of steps. Coming to our first section, that is documentation section. Our C program starts with the documentation section. Okay, I will explain it practically after completion of these 6 steps. Okay, so first listen these 6 steps. What is first step? What is second step? Okay, what is the purpose of these steps? First listen, and then I will explain with practically. Okay, na? So what is the meaning of our first section? That is the documentation section. That is the first section. The starting program. The starting program is documentation section. Come after documentation section, the next section is a linking section. After documentation section, the second section is a linking section. Next one is definition section. Okay, na? After linking section, the next section is a definition section. Next one, global variable declaration section. Okay, simply we can call global declaration section. Global declaration section. After the global variable declaration section, the main important section is a main function section. Okay, na? Main function section. In this main function section, we are using two types of subsections. In main function, there are two types of subsections are there. Those are declaration section and executable section. Okay, na? Declaration section and executable section. Okay, now coming to our sixth, nothing but final section is a subprogram or function section. This is the end of our program. Subprogram or function section. These all are 6 different types of sequence of sections in the basic C language or basic C program. Okay, na? So coming to our first section, that is documentation section. Okay, na? Documentation section. What is the meaning of documentation section? Okay, na? What is the meaning of documentation section? A documentation section is a one of the section. This is the first section in C program. What is the purpose of this documentation section? The main purpose of this documentation section is we are writing in this documentation section the purpose of the program. What is the purpose of this program? Okay, na? So with the help of this documentation section, we have we are writing what is the objective of the program. Okay, na? Example is okay, na? Slash star. This is my first program. We are writing anything. Okay, now we are writing. So what is the main purpose of the program? What is the main purpose of this program? Those purpose is simply we can write with this documentation section, that is the first section. So for example, this is my first program. Okay, now this is the symbol only. Slash star. This is the beginning. This is my first program. Star slash. This is my end. So whenever we write this is the this line is called as documentation section. Okay, na? Then so whenever we write these two symbols, okay, na? This is also called as comments. This is also called as comments. Okay, na? We will explain with the diagram fully after these six sections completed. Okay, this is about our documentation. Immediately documentation మీరు ఏం రాస్తారు అంటే ప్రోగ్రామ్ ఆ ప్రోగ్రామ్ ఎందుకు మీరు రాస్తారు. ఓకే, వాట్ ఈస్ ద మెయిన్ పర్పస్ ఆఫ్ ది ప్రోగ్రామ్ అది రాస్తారనమాట డాక్యుమెంటేషన్ సెక్షన్ లో. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ నేను ఈ ప్రోగ్రామ్ లో ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ నా నేమ్ ప్రింట్ చేస్తున్నాను. ఓకేనా, సో ఇప్పుడు నేను డాక్యుమెంటేషన్ సెక్షన్ ఏం రాస్తాను, దిస్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ ఈజ్ యూజ్డ్ టు ఎయిమ్ అనమాట. సింపుల్లీ మనం రికార్డులో ఎయిమ్ రాస్తాం కదా, ఎయిమ్ ఎందుకు రాస్తాం, ఎయిమ్ ఆ ప్రోగ్రామ్ ఏం చేస్తుందో రాస్తారు కదా ఎయిమ్. అట్లాగే సో ఆ ప్రోగ్రామ్ ఏ ఆపరేషన్ చేస్తుందో దట్ ఆపరేషన్ ఈజ్ దట్ సింప్లిఫై ఆపరేషన్ ఈజ్ written with the help of documentation section. సో ఇది చూడగానే మనకు అర్థమవుతుంది అనమాట ఓకే ఈ ప్రోగ్రామ్ లో మనం ఇది చేస్తున్నాం ఓకే అదండి సో దిస్ ఈజ్ అబౌట్ అవర్ డాక్యుమెంటేషన్ సెక్షన్ సో డాక్యుమెంటేషన్ సెక్షన్ ఈజ్ క్రియేటెడ్ విత్ ది హెల్ప్ ఆఫ్ దీస్ టూ సింబల్స్ ఓకేనా అదిగోండి దిస్ ఈజ్ స్టార్టింగ్ ఏదైతే మీరు రానుకుంటున్నారో అది మొత్తం రాస్తారు దిస్ ఈజ్ ద ఎండ్ ఓకేనా సో దిస్ ఈజ్ కాల్డ్ యాజ్ దిస్ ఈజ్ వీ కెన్ కాల్ యాజ్ కామెంట్ అని కూడా అంటాము ఓకేనా నెక్స్ట్ వన్ లింకింగ్ సెక్షన్ linking section okay na? So documentation section is not necessary for every program okay na? Documentation section is not necessary for every program okay na? The documentation section రాసిన రాసిన program execute అవుతుందండి this is not compulsory okay na? This is not compulsory documentation section is not compulsory that is our choice we may or may not write okay na? Coming to our linking section what is the meaning of linking section okay na? So linking section is another section this section tells the compiler to link the certain keywords or functions in the program to the header files specified in this section simply linking section what is the meaning of linking section linking section consists of header file section simply we can call it a header file function so this is a necessary in every C program. Okay, na? Without linking section, we can't write. Okay, na? But documenting section, we may or may not write. Our program will execute, but linking section is must. Linking section is must. Okay, na? So this linking section consists of header files. Header files. Okay, na? So why these header files? Header files are used to execute our program. Used to execute our programs. Okay, our compiler will understand. Our compiler will compile the program with these header files only. Without header files, our program not compiled. Our program not compiled. So this linking section is very important. Okay, this linking section is very important for every program. Okay, so example only how this section is implemented hash include stdio.h okay na? Every C program must consist of this linking section that is hash include stdio.h we must write this syntax only okay na? We must write this type hash include stdio.h that means hash include means yes this is we must include with C stdio standard IO. stdio stands for standard IO dot h. H means header file. Okay. So simply linking section consists of all the header files in the C program. Okay. So example is hash include stdio dot h. This is the beginning of C program. Okay. So documentation section may or may not write. Okay. We write to write code, but this linking section is the must. Next one, definition section. Definition section. Definition section is the optional. Definition section is the optional. This is used to declare some constants. Okay, now this is used to declare some constants. So definition section is optional. We may or may not write. That is depends upon the program. In sometimes this definition section is compulsory, but in sometimes definition section is not compulsory. That is depends upon our program. Okay, simply this definition section also optional. Okay, what is the purpose of this definition section? For example, if we want to define some constants in our program, okay, so definition sections are used to define some constants. For example, here pi. What is the meaning of pi? Pi means pi. What is the value of pi? What is the value of pi? Tell me anyone. What is the value of pi? Huh? So, what is the value of pi? చెప్పగలరా ఎవరైనా పై వాల్యూ చెప్పలేదా వింటున్నారా క్లాసు వింటున్నారా ఒక విజయం చెప్పండి వింటున్నారా లేదా క్లాసు అది కూడా చెప్పండి ఓకే సింప్లీ ద పై వాల్యూ ఎంత 6 వస్తుంది మీకు What is the value of pi? Pi value is 3.14. Kada? Pi value is 3.14. Leave that. So simply, so this type of constant values we are declare with the help of declaration section. For example, if I want to define max value, max at the maximum value as 25. If I want to define maximum value as 25. So with the help of definition section, we are defining. Example is hash define. Okay, hash define max space 25. Hash define space max space 25. That means whenever we use max, the value is automatically substituted. మీరు ఎక్కడైతే మ్యాక్స్ హ్యాష్ డిఫైన్ మ్యాక్స్ 25 యూజ్ చేశారో, ఎప్పుడైతే మ్యాక్స్ అని యూజ్ చేశారో మీకు ఆటోమేటిక్గా 25 వాల్యూ సబ్స్టిట్యూట్ అవుతూ ఉంటుందండి. 25 వాల్యూ ఈజ్ సబ్స్టిట్యూటెడ్. సో దీస్ టైప్ ఆఫ్ వాల్యూస్, దీస్ టైప్ ఆఫ్ కాన్స్టెంట్ వాల్యూస్ వీ ఆర్ డిక్లేర్ విత్ ది హెల్ప్ ఆఫ్ డిక్లరేషన్ సెక్షన్. ఓకేనా? ఇన్ ది ఎగ్జాంపుల్ మనకు కంప్లీట్గా అర్థమవుతుందండి. ఓకేనా? ఇన్ అవర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ వీ ఆర్ అండర్స్టాండ్. ఓకేనా? సో దీస్ ఆల్ ఆర్ డిఫరెంట్ టైప్స్ ఆఫ్ సెక్షన్స్. దట్ ఈస్ documentation section, linking section, definition section. In these three sections, linking section is very important. Documentation section and the definition sections are optional, but linking section is very important. Without linking section, we can't write, we can't execute any C program. Okay, so these all are different type of sections. Next one, global declaration section. Okay, global declaration section. This is another type of declaration. This is also optional. This is also optional. Okay, now why this global declaration section? Why this global declaration section? For example, if we want to declare some global variables, okay, if we want to declare some global variables in our program, at this time this global declaration section is used. What is the meaning of this global? For example, I want to use some value in my entire program. I want to use some value. Okay, I want to use some value in entire program. At this time, these global variables are used. Okay, so global variables are used. Global variables are used throughout our program. Throughout program. Okay, so where these global variables are declared before main. Okay, I will explain it practically. So global variables are declared above main function in our program. How? For example, int I. Example is int I. Int I means I already told integer. Okay, na? Int I means this is a variable. I is a variable. Int is a type. Now here int I can store 0 or I can store positive numbers or I can store negative numbers. Okay, na? So integer, what is the meaning of integer here? Integer is a simple number. This is 0 or this is positive or this is a negative number. What is the maximum capacity of this number? 2 bytes or 4 bytes depends upon the compiler. Okay, so simply I can store 0 to 2 to the power of 32 minus 1, that much of range of value. Okay, I understood. Okay, what is the meaning of integer here? What is the meaning of integer here? So here integer. Okay, na? Integer range 0 to this much of number. Okay, na? This number is simply we can call as 2 to the power of 32 minus 1. Okay, na? So here simply I int I. If we use int I in our program, what is the meaning of this? I is a type integer. Here I can store 0 to 2 to the power of 32 minus 1. That much of number can store in I. So this is the global variable. I think the global declaration. Okay, na? So this is declared before main. This is called as global declaration. So this I can use throughout our program. Okay, na? Theoretically చూస్తే మనకు అర్థం అవుతుంది, ఇది ప్రాక్టికల్లీ నేను చెబుతాను మొత్తం సెక్షన్స్ అయిన తర్వాత. ఓకే, దిస్ ఈజ్ అబౌట్ అవర్ గ్లోబల్ సెక్షన్. కమింగ్ టు అవర్ మెయిన్ ఫంక్షన్ సెక్షన్, దిస్ ఈజ్ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్. ఓకే, main function section. Every C program consists of one main function. Okay, every C program consists of one main function. Without main function, we can't write. Okay, అసలు మనము మెయిన్ లేకుండా అసలు ప్రోగ్రామే రాయమండి, ప్రోగ్రామే రాయలేము. ఓకేనా? వితౌట్ మెయిన్ ఫంక్షన్ we can't write program. ఓకేనా? Every C program must consist of one main function only. This main function is used to tell the compiler where to start the execution from. That means మీరు రాసిన సి ప్రోగ్రామ్ ఎక్కడి నుంచి ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అవ్వాలో చెప్పేదే మెయిన్ ఫంక్షన్ అండి. ఓకేనా? ఎవ్రీ సి ప్రోగ్రామ్ మస్ట్ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ ఫ్రమ్ మెయిన్ ఫంక్షన్ ఓన్లీ. ఓకేనా? అదండి. సో టైమ్ ఈజ్ అప్. ఐ విల్ డిస్కస్ టుమారో.